And we spoke about strategy of a fund or companies, and I told you this statement. The best strategy is a strategy that everybody understands, but you are the only one that can perform. And we do have this strategy of deep tech, and we are the right people to perform.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumi Tech and sponsored by Hippo Insurance, Turing, Upwest Labs, and Hillel at Stanford. I'm so excited for this upcoming guest, Dov Moran, managing partner of Grow Ventures and one of the most prominent Israeli high-tech leaders in the world, an investor, inventor, and entrepreneur best known as the inventor of the USB flash drive. Moran founded M Systems, acquired by SanDisk for $1.6 billion in 2006. Today, he is the managing partner of Grow Ventures, a leading early-stage venture capital investment firm which places significant emphasis on deep technology and partners with exceptional Israeli entrepreneurs. Dov Moran, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. I'm honored to be in the Grove offices. I get to see you often. I often come with a video camera, which is weird because very soon I'm going to start coming here with slide decks. So you get ready for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to pick your brain for these 20 minutes about who you are. And I want to know both about, where we are right now, which is very representative to where you are, I think, in life right now with deep technology investments, but really understand the word deep technology. It's being thrown out a lot everywhere. Everybody loves to say they're dealing with deep technology, but what really is deep technology in the core sense of it? And why do you get so excited? I want to ask you about that. And then I also want to take you back, back to your army days, back to your high school days.
Hey, 20 minutes, it ended. I don't have time talking about myself.
That's why I'm
Okay. I was joking with you. Where are we? This is Go Ventures. We are a venture capital fund, early stage, deep technology. Now, what is deep technology? Deep technology, the way I see it, and of course, many people see it differently. Deep technology is the hardcore, the things which are really the tough things in the high-tech world, which is semiconductor and hardware, sensors, and AI, core AI, or cloud infrastructure, or science. We do believe in science as well. We invest in science. And this leads into many things which could be in the variety of markets. But we look for the things that are hard to replicate. Usually where there are patents, where there are ideas which are really out of the box in technology, not just in marketing. And basically, things which are changing the world and practically making this world a bit better.
So, I've had the unique pleasure of having almost 400 people on this show, and I could swear that practically everybody says they're making the world a better place and they're changing the world. I really want to understand here, because the approach that you're taking with Grow, the deep technology approach, and we just had a fascinating, almost hour-long conversations, and you started telling me about 2 or 3 companies that you invested in, and I almost couldn't buy into the fact that you're running the company because you're so excited about what they're doing.
Sure.
What does making an impact mean to you when it comes to deep technology? How does deep technology translate to making a strong impact on the world?
Well, okay, we do have the answer. First of all, if you came to the offices, you could see that at the entrance to the office, there is a sign saying, in large letters, people first. We do believe in people. Anything which we do relate to people. The fund, the entrepreneurs who are coming to us, the people we are investing in, what is the most important criteria where we use the LPs? How do we treat our LPs? So people first. And the second principle is creating value. We are eager to create value. We are determined to invest where the company really brings true value to the world, where we can add value to the company, where we can add value to our investors, of course.
We were talking about why you're deciding that, why your thesis is that deep technology companies are the right way to make a strong impact.
So generally, we're eager to bring value. Now, deep tech, in what we are doing, any company we are investing in is a company that makes a difference, that company that makes an impact. It's a company that in many cases saves life of people or change life. of people. That's very, very crucial to us. Now, we don't invest in cyber. We don't invest in fintech. We don't invest in mobile applications. We don't invest in gaming. Why? Because we really don't have enough the abilities to support these companies, to help them, to bring value to them. Okay? In these companies I mentioned, with the team that we have here, 6 investors all together, everybody understands technology very, very well, established a company or companies, bought the companies, at least 2 of us, me and Leo, the other room, took companies to values of billions of dollars. We know how difficult it is. We know how to do it. Yeah. So we can bring value to our company. That's part of this statement of value creation. And I'm very happy that this is done at this area, which is so difficult to understand, to invest in as deep technology. So many people, many funds might tell you, we do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and deep tech as well, which, makes me smile, which is okay, go ahead. And we spoke about strategy of a fund or companies, and I told you this statement. The best strategy is a strategy that everybody understands, but you are the only one that can perform. And we do have this strategy of deep tech, and we are the right people to perform it.
So Grow Ventures, deep technology, there is a system. And you started telling me about all these different case studies of how you're bringing in the entrepreneurs. Sometimes you're pivoting the entire strategy of a company by bringing the venture partners, and you're mentioning that the most crucial piece of it is that you yourself embody deep technology as a person before the fund. And when you take the combination or the group of people that are driven by deep technology and you put them together, then you can create a lot of value as a fund that specializes in this. Why did we spend an hour before starting this when you were telling me about, about silicon chips and the new sensors for cameras that can see through things? Why did we talk about that?
Things through dust, fog, rain, snow, whatever it is, yeah.
Why did we talk about that? That's what I want to know.
Because that's exciting. Because, hey, we are really creating the future. We are bringing products that would save lives, people. And there's nothing that makes you more excited than knowing that you are doing something that would impact the world. Yeah, of course, it's nice to make money. But, making money, after some time, you will find that you are a bit...
surface level?
You are...
content?
Yeah, you actually don't care so much. Yeah, okay, we'll make more money, less money. That's not the most important issue. You need money to survive. You need money to live well. Now, for me, becoming more richer, doubling, tripling, it's meaningless. That's the point. Yeah, meaningless. Maybe the right word here. But if you make things which are saving people's life and you make this world a bit better, that's amazing. I tell you a story about this USB flash drive. The USB flash drive. Well, when you are in the doing, you don't really, sometimes you don't really understand what you do. We did USB flash drive. Clearly, many, many issues and problems and standards and fights and patents. And as you know, I'm the inventor of the USB flash drive. So, one memory that I have of a great feeling I had. About less than a year after we brought the product to the market, I went on a flight, and it was just the beginning of this product. People were using it, but it didn't jump from $0 to $1 billion in a few months. So this was one of the first users that actually used it. He paid for it $50, by the way. That was the initial price of 48 megabyte. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm going on a plane, and then someone, I was flying coach. Someone was walking, against the others to say hello to me. And he said, "You don't know me, but your invention changed my life." I said, "How could it change your life?" He said, "The place I work in is a place where I couldn't take my computer or any data out of the place. So what I used to do, which probably was illegal, I bought this USB flash drive. I plugged it into the computer. I could take it with me, go home earlier, because, hey, I knew I'm going to complete my job at home. And then I could come home and still see my kids, playing and be with them. after they went to sleep, I plugged it into my computer at home. I finished what I had to do. I went up. The next day I came, plugged it in. No one understood how fast I am. Yeah, but and he said, hey, without your invention, I won't do it. So you changed my life. And getting to hear from somebody that your invention changed his life is wow.
Right.
I later on, I do believe that with what we have done there, I changed the life of many people at M Systems and later on, even at Modu, which was an amazing company, clearly a tower, which I was a chairman and bought from a catastrophe to a company that has a value of several billions of dollars today. And then other companies and other activities that I had. But so, it's great when you establish a company. Now, I'm today the process that instead of establishing one company, which you should establish one company at a time, means Elon Musk can do 2 or 3 companies. I'm not so talented as him, probably, but the ability that I can do it now with 20 companies by investing, being involved, being a chairman, an active chairman.
You said you're a chairman, I believe, in 17 or 18.
No, I'm not chairman. We have about 20 companies at our portfolio. About 1/3 are my company. In my companies, I'm chairman almost of any company, but I'm involved in other companies as well. But what I talk about involvement, it's not, hey, I'm the chairman, I'm coming once a month to a meeting, get the honor, hey, Mr. Chairman. I'm really down to earth. I fly with them to meetings. I sit with them. I initiate for them business contacts. I work with them in the right proposals. I help them to raise money. We do here at the fund critical design reviews with our people, their people, to talk about the systems. We talk about strategy or help them change strategy. So we are very, very active as a fund in the life of the companies. And then finally, that success was done. You can be happy when you buy a lottery ticket and win, but probably you will be happy for 2 days, maybe 2 weeks, okay? Knowing that you were involved in doing something that practically changed life of many, many people, not just the employees, but users of this product, that's something that you will take for you every day of your life. And that's why.
So that's something that I definitely wish for myself eventually in my life, because I can't think of something that brings more contentness. But I also want to mention that you're talking about the involvement and all these different things that you provide as a fund. But I think that we were missing the most inspiring aspect for me, which is that the hour that we spent wasn't, and I refer to that because for me, it's the embodiment of the type of investor that you probably are. And I hopefully one day we get to work together, but I see somebody that beyond the interest in the business and the people and the impact, you're interested in the science. You're interested in in why it works. You need to convince yourself this is why it works, and it's so freaking cool. And because I understand how it works, I don't have to prove it to anybody else because I know it will work. Right?
So maybe I'll tell you something about myself, which might sound funny. When I established my first fund, I talked with, I tried to raise money. I spoke with a guy, a very wealthy American guy that came to Israel, and I met him here, and he was quite happy he was very happy with what I told him, and I do remember the third meeting we had. He said, I came to meet you, and the first thing he told me, and it was shock. He said, Dov, I spoke with you, and I can define exactly what are you. I said, okay, go ahead. He said, you're a mentor. No one before in my life told me that I'm a mentor, but later on, I did see myself really as somebody that practically I was a mentor of many, many people, which I'm very proud of.
I know some of them. They're very thankful as well.
You know some of them, and it's a great feeling to feel that you really change in this way life of people as well. So yes, I am trying to. I enjoy being there as a teacher. So when you came and we spoke about TriEye, which are making a SWIR camera, SWIR shortwave infrared. Okay, and what's so unique about it, and what's done in order for that to work? Yeah, that makes me very excited. Because
I can see
because really it's amazing. It's amazing. I tell you a short story about them.
Please.
So when I went to do this investment, they came with the idea. I'm electrical engineer, of course, so I do understand, and I did many things in my life. So I did understand that technology really seems to me very weird what they want to do. And one of the first things I've done, I wrote to one of the entrepreneurs. Is a guy that is a professor at the Hebrew University. So who do I know at the Hebrew University? Amnon Shashua, great guy, smart guy. I dealt with them. I helped them when they were a very young company. Ziv Aviram until now claimed that I was their mentor, and he even says that I saved the company because of some consultation I gave to them at the variety. Right? This is a very funny story he tells to other people that say without it, Dov, there was no Mobileye, but he's exaggerating. Anyway, But anyway, I know Amnon. So I wrote Amnon a very short email. I said, Amnon, do you know Professor Levi? Do you know what they're doing in Swear? He gave me an amazing answer. He said, of course I know him. He's the same corridor, and he's a great guy. And about the Swear, if it works, it's a revolution. It's changing the market rules. Okay? But then he added a very short sentence. The sentence, which I never forget, was, Dov, please pay attention. The size of this if is very large. Which means, I'm not sure whether it's going to work. And we took of course, we went deeply into the research and what was done and how it was done and what can be done. And by the way, my relations with Tower Semiconductor was very good because I could really work with the fab, see that the fab is ready to do process changes required to do this product, which they agreed. And that's really very unique. But again, it's my relations with Tower that allowed, I was a chairman of Tower. So this actually, this works. And the if doesn't exist anymore. Hey, of course it is exciting. How can it be not exciting? If it wouldn't be exciting, probably I wouldn't be here. I would do something else.
You mentioned to me that you work an average of 16 hours a day.
14. I need to eat sometimes. Yeah, or sleep.
You don't have to work 14 hours a day.
I don't have to work at all for making money. But first, you love it. It's part of, I pay very nice for that. That's clearly. I would do the job, and hey, if one of our LPs is saying it, I know it's a dangerous statement, but I would do the job without getting paid. I just enjoy very much what I'm doing, and there's so much to be done that it directs you into the doing. And so there are people who like other stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't watch TV. I do read books, but I read on Saturdays only. I don't go to dinners. I hate dinners. I do sometimes go with visitors abroad, but it's part of the job. So the basic thing that I can do is do that. Yeah.
An engineer.
It's engineering, it's business, it's understanding technology, it's learning. Well, we did investment in a company from Weizmann Institute that deals with a chemical process called that enabled actually do separation of chiralic material. I know you don't understand anything. Don't worry, it's okay. 99.999% of the population don't. Means I know people that know chemistry that didn't remember what is it. But it's a very important process for the pharma industry, actually. And they came to us, and I found myself sitting at night, and I'm talking about sitting, I won't go to sleep at 2 o'clock, by the way. I spend the evenings by reading this stuff. So I find myself at night sitting, reading about chiralic separation, how it's done, what is it, why it's important, what's the complexities, what's the implications when it's not done. They were crazy, by the way. Hey, it's fascinating. I enjoy learning, understanding, knowing stuff, and I'm still learning at my age. That's something which I'm very proud of. I'm a learner. Yeah.
Okay, it's I wish it was an hour, minute, not 20 minutes, but I have a few fun questions if you're ready.
Shoot.
What was your favorite subject in high school or middle school or Gan Chova?
I do have a memory from my kindergarten where I stand in front of the teacher holding my mother's hand, and the nursery, the ganenet, the nursery? Kindergartner, yeah, says, I'm very sorry, but he's not mature enough to go to school. And I feel my mother's, and I'm angry at myself because I was shovav, I was hooligan, yeah. I remember what I thought when she said it. The day before, every day, end of the day, you had to take the chair and put them on a table, okay? So I took the chair and put it on the table, yeah, as it is. And then the kindergartner was very angry at me. So when she said it to my mother, I said, wow, why did I did this stupidity? What I want to tell you, and that goes off, after that in my school, and then first of all, I did things out of the box. And I was late bloomer. I was always, every time, everywhere, every time I went to do something, it's like I stood, if it's running, yeah? Like everybody's standing there ready to run, okay? And then I'm standing there 10 meters behind. And hey, the guy shoots. Everybody begins to run. I begin to run slowly, but somehow people are breaking out, and I continue. And I get to the front, yeah.
You realize it's a little bit of a longer race than what most people think. And so
I'm a learner. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not clearly, I'm full of deficiencies, but I all the time try to improve. I work very, very hard on myself constantly to improve. What I liked I always was very good in mathematics. I just was
not surprised.
Yeah, that's right.
And who's one of your role models?
Oh, clearly my grandfather. My grandfather was an entrepreneur, like 100 years ago. And in Poland, both of his parents died when he was 6 years ago. He was adopted. But again, he began very, very low. How do you say Harat? Workshop. He was working at a workshop, these machines that are rolling, and he learned the job. And then he went back to his hometown and he built such a factory, and then such a workshop. And then he built a factory. He went to Italy, bought engineers, and he built the first factory in Poland for doing silver, for food, knife, forks, which everybody was talking about. And then he went to England and bought equipment to do a oil digging. And he opened a bank and a lot of stuff because he was a real entrepreneur. And by the way, that's important because of the fact that he was an entrepreneur and he was at the set of mind of entrepreneurs, his life was saved. Because entrepreneurs are the people that when they see a problem, they face the problem. They say, okay, we need to do a pivot, we'll do a pivot. Doesn't work out, we have to go to the right. We go to the right, we go to the left, whatever. We need to survive. Entrepreneurship is a journey of survival. Yeah. Clearly, there are a lot of things behind, but survival is a very important role of entrepreneurship. So, I'm laughing. See the headline on my wall. This is what I want to wake up to every morning. Entrepreneurship is about survival. Yeah. I didn't say it before. Just by talking with you, it came to my mind. But in general, I lived with my grandfather in the same room. We weren't in a rich family. He came to Israel. He didn't care about money. Part of it I took as well to myself today. It's not that I care about my LP's money. Yeah, I care about my partners. It's not that I want to maximize my money. It's absolutely not what drives me. But my grandfather, I lived with him actually at the same room. He lived with our house, and we lived at the same room until he died. He died exactly 1 week before I was drafted. So Friday, noon, no one was at home except me and my sister. He died at once, heart attack. Yeah, Shavat, it's a boom, he's gone. Yeah. In Jewish, you sit Shiva 7 days. This was Saturday, Sunday, Friday. We finished the Shiva 7 days. And then Sunday morning, I was drafted. It took me years to understand that he died exactly at the point where he felt that he's not needed anymore. And that's amazing. And by the way, when it happened, I didn't think about this exactly timing that he had.
Wow.
But this is reality. So he was clearly, in a way, my mentor. I do have many moments where I do remember in the summers he would take me to jobs that he was creating for me, actually. Some of them were very difficult. I do remember myself standing, trying to take out trisim. How do you say? Yeah, this stuff, yeah. And these days it was, built from wood. It was all plastic, it was heavy. And, and I stand there, and he didn't go. I went there to take it out because we want to transfer to the neighbors, and it's very difficult. And he sees very difficult for me. Say, don't break up. Stay. Yeah. Until now, I have this words, hanging in my head.
Well, it's inspiring. Thank you for sharing it. It's I love it. I don't have words to describe what I'm like. I'm very thankful that you shared it, and I'm very excited now to hear about 3 words that you would choose to describe yourself. I have hints to what they are, but how would you, if you had to look at it as a spectator, who's Dov?
Well, I think the first thing is that I'm a learner. I'm working on constantly improve myself. Whatever I'm doing, I always learn, and I always try to be better than what I was before. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I'm determined. That's part of it. The third thing, I surprise you. I think that I'm very much operations research oriented. I was a teacher. Somehow, when I was at the 5th class at elementary school, I was sick. My father brought home a book about operations research. Don't ask me why. I think that he bought it because there was the week where they can buy cheap books very, very cheap. This was super cheap, probably. No one was buying that. So he bought it. And I was sick at home, and so he took it to me. And I was sick, so I was at home, and but by the way, it's very rare. I rarely sick in my life. But I was reading it and since it was the only book he bought me, that I read this book, and it was written very, very well. And it gave me great understanding of combinatorics and statistics, and it somehow influenced my mind. So I was very, very good in anything that relates to that. And then I became a teacher. I was a teacher at the Tel Aviv University. I was teaching a couple of years operations research. I began as a stagiaire, somebody who helps the professor. Then he went to Columbia, and I became the teacher while I didn't have any second degree even. That's a funny story by itself. But I was teaching operations research, and I think that it gives me a lot, because practically each one of us is taking or need to take many decisions in his life. If you're a CEO, you need to take lots of decisions. If you are a venture capital fund manager, your life is decision taking. Yeah. If you are chairman of company as well. And the question, how do you take decisions? And I think that I'm a good decision taker.
I love it. What you mentioned also before the show, maybe it was even during the show, everything's a big balagan, but you mentioned that it's, making a decision, that's the most crucial piece of it. Learning from that decision, of course, accepting that the decision may be the wrong one, yes, but making that decision. And being a person that you perhaps as an investor can count on to keep making these decisions promptly, intellectually, but also take ownership over them and then pivot the next time. Because there will always be a next time. It's a never-ending journey. And that you will always choose somebody to make that decision, that you can trust will make that decision.
Decision taking is difficult because, it seems like, it's you have to write 5 items and say it's so much more complicated, because when you deal with people, sometimes maybe you get to see a CEO that is making a mistake. Would you tell him it's a mistake? Would you say, hey, it's a mistake, do it, and then or you let him do his mistakes and learn, or maybe stop him before it really gets into doing a very bad mistake. nothing is simple. Nothing is really simple. And by the way, I do claim, the guts feeling. Yeah. Now you should say, hey, you are operational. There are no guts feeling. You have to take decisions very, very logically. No. Guts feeling is actually a collection of many, many small decisions on many, many items. This guy was looking at you when he came into the room, that you gather into actually a set of a good or bad decision. It's not really guts feeling. It's practical. It's analyzing many, many factors into that. So yeah, it is important to understand how to take decisions. It is important on the other side how to lead people while letting them take decisions. This is more important even.
Dov, toda rabba.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
This was wonderful.
Thanks.
I need to increase the show length for our next episode, and I'm already saying that we're going to do another episode because I'm leaving with many more questions that I came in with. But thank you very much for everything. Thank you.